In a small town just outside Raleigh, North Carolina, there once lived a man who didn't think of himself as extraordinary. His name was Marcus Reed. If you passed him on the street years ago, you wouldn't have stopped to look twice. He walked with purpose, but not arrogance. He spoke softly, but with intention. People didn't admire Marcus for his confidence. They admired him for something else. They admired the way he stood beside his wife. Marcus met Evelyn in their early 20s, long before life taught them how heavy dreams could be. Evelyn had a laugh that filled rooms without demanding attention. She listened in a way that made people feel seen. When Marcus talked about ideas, business ideas, half-formed plans, impossible visions, most people nodded politely. Evelyn leaned forward. She asked questions. She remembered details. She believed him before there was proof. "You don't think small," she once told him. "You just doubt too loud." They married young. They struggled. They learned. And when their first daughter Lily was born, Marcus cried harder than he ever had in his life. When Ava came 2 years later, loud, curious, unstoppable, Evelyn laughed and said, "She's going to challenge you every day." She was right. Their home in North Carolina wasn't fancy, but it was alive. Dinner conversations, encouragement scribbled on sticky notes, late-night talks when the girls were asleep. Marcus failed often in those early years. He tried a small logistics business. Failed. A retail idea. Failed. An online service. Failed slower, but still failed. Each time, Marcus came home carrying disappointment like a weight on his chest, and each time, Evelyn helped him set it down. "What did today teach you?" she'd ask. "Who are you becoming through this?" She never measured him by outcomes. She measured him by effort. Evelyn was the kind of woman who didn't push you forward. She reminded you that you were already moving. When Marcus finally found some momentum, a consulting role that began to grow into something real, Evelyn celebrated quietly. She didn't say, "I told you so." She said, "I knew you'd figure it out." Life felt like it was finally aligning. The girls were thriving. The future felt possible. Then came the tiredness. At first, Evelyn brushed it off. "Just stress," she said. "Just life." But stress doesn't steal color from someone's face. The diagnosis came on a Tuesday afternoon in a white room that felt too small for words that big. Cancer. Aggressive. Advanced. Marcus held Evelyn's hand, as if letting go might erase her. And even then, even sitting there, Evelyn squeezed his fingers and whispered, "We'll take this one step at a time." Cancer changed everything. Hospital rooms replaced dinner tables. Silence replaced laughter. But Evelyn never stopped being Evelyn. Even on her weakest days, she encouraged Marcus. "You still have dreams," she said once, her voice barely above a breath. "Promise me you won't bury them with me," Marcus promised. He didn't know how impossible that promise would feel later. Evelyn passed away on a quiet morning while the girls were at school. Marcus was there, holding her hand, listening to the sound of a life slipping away. Grief didn't scream. It suffocated. The house felt wrong without her. Her shoes by the door. Her mug untouched. Her voice missing from every corner. Marcus didn't collapse all at once. He slowly disappeared. The girls needed him, and he tried. He packed lunches, showed up to school meetings, read bedtime stories with a voice that sometimes cracked. But inside, Marcus was unraveling. Without Evelyn, decision-making felt impossible. She had been his clarity, his grounding. He tried to push forward with business again, but this time it wasn't hope driving him. It was panic. He made rushed decisions, chased bad ideas, ignored warning signs. Each failure cost money. Each loss drained him further. Eventually, there was nothing left to drain. Marcus filed for bankruptcy in North Carolina, sitting alone in a room that felt colder than any hospital. And that's when the thought finally took root. Maybe I was never strong. Maybe she was the strength. Years passed in survival mode. They moved into a small apartment, Marcus worked wherever he could. Lily grew quieter, more observant. Ava grew protective, older than her years. They didn't ask for much, just their dad. One night, during a power outage caused by a summer storm common to North Carolina, the three of them sat together in the dark. Ava fell asleep on Marcus's shoulder. Lily broke the silence. Dad, Mom believed in you even when things were bad. Marcus nodded. She'd hate seeing you give up on yourself. That night, something shifted. Not hope. Awareness. Marcus realized he hadn't just lost Evelyn. He had abandoned himself. Rebuilding didn't look inspiring. It looked boring. Early mornings, learning again, failing carefully. Marcus stopped chasing big and started chasing right. He listened more, moved slower, thought longer. And when fear came, as it always did, he remembered something Evelyn once said: confidence isn't loud, it's consistent. If this story feels heavy, if it feels close to home, this might be a good moment to pause and subscribe. Not for content, but for stories that remind you you're not alone in rebuilding. Years later, Marcus stood on steadier ground. Not wealthy, not famous, but present. His daughters laughed again. The house, small as it was, felt alive. Marcus still missed Evelyn. Grief doesn't leave. It evolves. But now, when doubt whispered, it didn't win. Because Marcus finally understood something Evelyn had been trying to teach him all along. She didn't make him strong. She helped him see his strength. And even after loss, that strength remained. If you're listening to this right now, still here, then maybe this story found you for a reason. Like the video. Stay with the channel. Sometimes the right story is exactly what keeps us standing. Marcus Reed still lives in North Carolina. Still wakes up early. Still works hard. But now, when he looks at his daughters, he doesn't see what he lost. He sees what survived and what grew.